It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Hello, dear children. I welcome you all to the next English class today, where we'll be praising a genius work of poetry composed by a gem of poet, Robert Frost. Let's discuss about the poet first. Robert Frost was an American poet who drew his images for composition from the countryside. The language that he used was an uncomplicated one, and in his writings, he evokes a wide range of emotions which can be easily interpreted. Moving towards the poem now, children, the first poem given in your book Beehive is The Road Not Taken. I repeat the title of the poem, that is, The Road Not Taken, composed by Robert Frost. The plot of the poem is based upon human desires and aspirations, which make it difficult for us to choose between two situations. Let's read the first stanza and see what message does it convey. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Children, a forest has been chosen by the poet with yellow leaves, as if it's the autumn season and the leaves have turned dry, pale, and yellow. We find a man standing at a place in the forest where two roads are leading to two different paths. The man needs to take a decision here. He needs to decide which path to take. He regrets and feels tempted to travel on both the roads, as is human behavior, which wants to attain each and everything. We can feel that he is somewhat hesitated to come to a conclusion and choose only one road. He closely looks at one of them and sees that it is bent in the undergrowth. This indicated that this particular road had been used by many travelers, as they had an idea where would that path lead to. This is sure when at certain times of our lives we even face some difficult situations where we have to make some tough choices. It takes a lot of effort leaving behind the worldly amusement to do something that really matters. And this was something which was going on in the mind of the author. Let's continue with the second stanza and contemplate its meaning. It says, Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same. Children, sometimes we keep on thinking of what we are supposed to do, not of what we really want to do. The poet starts observing the other road, which was green and wanted itself to be used. Here we find a poetic device, personification, used by the poet. As a road is lifeless, but here it expresses its desire to be utilized, to be made purposeful, as if it has emotions like us, the humans. The poet finally decided to opt for that particular road, which seems to be green, because he wanted to attain something which had not been attained by mankind yet. However, by the end of the stanza, he says that both the roads were about the same, which means that he feels ordinary and simple again, as many other people had also followed him, and it even became a populated and an ordinary path. His desire of being a pioneer seems to be in doldrums now. Let's read the third stanza and see that how his journey unfolds. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. The poet seems to be consoling himself that he could be going back to the other road some other day, but not today. However, he knows very well that he might even never go back to take the particular road which he did not take earlier, because every step will lead to a new step, and every goal will lead to a bigger goal. Moving ahead, let's read the last and the most memorable stanza of the poem. It says, I shall be telling this with a sigh. However, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. In these lines, the poet acknowledges that at times he feels nostalgic and maybe slightly regretful over not taking the first path, but then moving on continuously on the path which he took long time ago has made him what he is today. We feel a sense of pride filled in the author by the end of the poem. In fact, the last two lines say it all. I would read the last two lines now. I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Yes, he took the path chosen less by the people. Probably, it could have been the more difficult one. He would have suffered walking ahead alone most of the times. But his self-faith and determination never dwindled. And finally, it was his choice which made all the difference. It was his tough decision which made him understand the higher purpose of his life. So finally, it is right to say that it is not in stars to hold our destiny, dear children, but it is in ourselves. Now lastly, I would discuss the new words which have been used by Robert Frost in the poem. The first word is diverged. D-I-V-E-R-G-E-D. Diverged, which means to move in different directions. The second word is undergrowth. U-N-D-E-R-G-R-O-W-T-H. Undergrowth are the small trees and plants growing beneath larger trees. The next word which has been used is fair. Over here, the word fair, which spells F-A-I-R, means to be promising, to be fruitful. The next word is claim, C-L-A-I-M, claim, which means to demand. And the last word is trodden. The spelling of the word is T-R-O-D-D-E-N, trodden, which means walked on. With this, we move on to the homework part, children. The entire poem with the poet's introduction and the questions followed by it is being forwarded to you. Kindly finish the entire question answers in a notebook of your choice, and you must be regular in finishing your work so that everything gets done timely. That's it for today, children.